Other news now, and Sudan's army and the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces have reportedly been holding talks to observe a ceasefire during the Muslim Eid holiday later this month. And that's after the latest truce brokered by the U.S. and Saudi Arabia expired overnight into Wednesday. We have our correspondent Hiba Morgan joining us from Durman, that's near the capital, Khartoum. So Hiba, what's happening now that the ceasefire is over?
There's been fighting between the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese army in various parts of the capital. Here in the city of Durman, we were able to hear heavy artillery being fired. We can hear fighter jets flying overhead and the surface-to-air missiles being fired by the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, targeting those fighter jets overhead. Now, in the southern part of the city, there's also been fighting around the Engineers Corps, which is a base for the Sudanese army and which the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces has been trying to gain control of for the past few weeks. We also spoke to residents in the eastern part of the capital, Khartoum. They say that fighter jets are flying overhead and that they can hear heavy artillery. Now, there were direct airstrikes in the eastern part of the capital as well, targeting camps belonging to the Rapid Support Forces. People say that they were expecting this. They say that the most intense fighting between the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese army usually comes at two times: before a ceasefire is due to come into effect or right after the ceasefire expires. And now that the 72-hour ceasefire has expired, residents are being advised to stay indoors to avoid being caught in the crossfire as the two sides continue battling each other.
Okay, but what does the end of the ceasefire also mean for people who've been displaced in West Darfur?
Displacement has been continuing even during the ceasefire. Many people continue to arrive into neighboring Chad seeking refuge, and they say that in the city of Jazeera in West Darfur, Arab militias allied to the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces have been targeting people based on their ethnicities. Now, the ceasefire covers the entire country, so that also includes the Darfur region, specifically West Darfur. But people who have been able to flee continue to report gunfire being heard. They say that even when they try to cross the border, they continue to be shot at by the Arab militias who are backed by the RSF. So there, people have not been able to get a respite from the fighting. Now, there's also the city of Tawila in North Darfur. The army has accused the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces of violating the ceasefire on the second day, and that tens of people have been displaced as a result of the RSF targeting people in the city. So in the Darfur region, people say that they've not been able to get respite from the fighting in many parts.
Thank you so much. Hiba Morgan reporting for us from Durman in Sudan. Well, the head of the UN's refugee agency has pleaded with countries bordering Sudan to continue accepting people escaping the violence. At least 500,000 Sudanese have now fled their nation.
We are unfortunately gradually witnessing the destruction of this country. Many of the neighbouring countries are very fragile, and there is also an element of insecurity that risks spreading as a result of this situation. My appeal to all the neighbouring countries is to say, I understand your security concerns, but please keep your borders open because these people are really fleeing for their lives.